I will ask people about, whether they like to cook or not. So I like to find information out, of course, about my guests a little bit. And there's always that person at the show who doesn't cook. Always. And I'll say, how many of you just can't even fry an egg or boil water? And of course someone will be, okay, it's your turn. And I just look at them and I go, it's your turn. Great. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll hand them the eggs, and they will be, you guys won't be around necessarily. I might still be in doing my demo, but I'll say, Chris, come on with me to the kitchen for a second. So then I'll say, Chris, come on over here. What I want you to do is, I want to ask you, first of all, there's nothing in this can, is there? Air. Just air, right? Okay. So what I want you to do is, could you do me a favor, Chris, and all I want you to do right now is go ahead and crack that egg in there for me. Excellent. Okay, we're just going to let that sit for a minute. Go ahead and throw the shell away, wash your hands off, and then I'm going to have you helping me in just a second, okay? So now what I'm doing is I'm going on with my demo. All right, I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to kind of ask Chris to just keep an eye on my eggs for me. I don't want it to burn. I don't want it to get too awful. And so I will continue on with my demo and talk about it. And then as I bring her back, and you're going to see what I'll do in a minute. So we would just continue doing whatever it is, whatever presentation I'm doing. It may be about the cookware, it may be about some of the other products, it might be about the stoneware, but whatever it is, I'm going to continue on, and then I'm going to come back to Chris. And Chris becomes my star of my show at this point, and I usually get a look of horror on their face when we get to a certain point, so I do warn all my consultants, you are going to get a look of horror from them, and you're going to go, uh-huh, and you're going to go, scared, huh? And they're like, yeah, but don't worry, it's okay. So what we do is I ask her to watch my egg, and I'll say when it starts getting good and white, almost all white, where it's not jelly anymore on the top. Yellow is okay to be like that. I want her to let me know. Okay, so then my next question is, Chris, could you do me a favor? This is one of our silicone spatulas. And what's great about this is it's not going to melt when we use it in the cookware, so don't worry, it's not going to go like the Wicked Witch of the last time. It's going to melt everywhere. Now let me tell you something about spatulas like this. These are made out of silicone. Most spatulas on the market are not heat resistant. And if you have spatulas at home that have gotten sticky around the edges, be sure you throw those away because they are holding bacteria. Also, the heads don't pop off of these, so there's no saving the food from last week for this week. Okay. What's interesting about most of us in our kitchen is we often don't get food poisoning from the food itself. It's from the way we handle the food. And whether it's using the wrong kind of cutting board, like acrylic cutting boards, those clear acrylic cutting boards are not really made for cutting on. The only types of material approved for use in food service is polyethylene and also bamboo. Any others can transfer bacteria. So make sure if you do have those clear acrylic cutting boards, you're just using them to put Mr. Coffee on. Okay? But the same thing with spatulas. If you have one of those cheap spatulas at home and it's all sticky around the edge, throw it away. That means it's holding bacteria, and every time you use it, you're transferring that bacteria from one dish to the other. Okay? So what we're going to do now is take a look at this. Could you do me a favor and see if you could just break this egg loose for me? Just see if you can just move it a little bit. And if you turn the spatula upside down, it's going to make it easier to move. Oh. Did it move?
Yeah.
Was there anything in there beforehand?
No.
Okay. Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. So do me a favor. I don't know if you noticed on this really cool hand here, but this is a thumb hole. Okay. So that kind of gives you a comfort grip. And your thumb fits perfect down in there. So see how that fits your hand. Does that fit good? Okay, now come on over with me to the sink, Chris, if you would. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is, you see those people on TV flipping the eggs and the whole bit? Yeah, okay, so I need you to move a little closer. Okay, not too close to the window, but not too far back. Okay. So you know the move. It's going to be like this, and then one of those. And you can put your hips into it if you have to. So ready? Okay, go for it. Okay. Good job, Chris. Now take a look at this egg. Thank you. You did an awesome job. Okay. Now, look at this egg. I want you all to see. Look at how perfect. It is the same color all the way across. Isn't that beautiful? Now, could you imagine frying an egg like this in your regular frying pan at home? All right. And what it would be like, it'd be like glue, but watch this. Chris, what I'm going to have you do now is I want you to scramble this egg for me. So I just want you to turn that upside down and start kind of pushing it around. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and just see, can you get the rest of that off of there too?
Yeah.
Look at that. It just keeps coming off. Now, you guys know, like, egg white, it's just like glue. Look at how nice this is. Now, she's just spraying it everywhere. Okay, but let me show you something else. What's interesting is even on the edge, it is non-stick. Our cookware, remember I said earlier, is non-stick on the outside and non-stick on the inside. So, it's not going to be a horrible thing if you miss. But by the way, you did a mighty fine job. And we have a perfect egg every time. Now, if you notice, too, I've shut that stove off way back to continue to cook. Cookware does retain heat.
Yeah.
Yep, it's hot. Okay. And so, gotcha. Does retain heat, but look at how perfect that puts as a scrambled egg. So imagine being able to make your own omelets at home, not having to add any extra fat. How many of you are always looking ways to cut back on fat calories? Well, this is the way to do it. Nothing in here. And I'll tell you, my very favorite thing to do is we'll get up in the morning, take a handful of fresh spinach and just throw that in the bottom, fresh spinach, and let it wilt. Then we'll take 4 or 5 egg whites and 2 or 3 whole eggs and beat those together with a little bit of milk and put that in and just let it cook. Scramble that up, throw maybe some feta cheese on top, and it's just delightful, and we've not added any fat. And it cooks perfect, and it's super
What I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
There you go. In every show, I have someone flip an egg.
So
And
you clean, after you do the bread, you clean it and then you do the egg thing?
And what's really neat about it is, and I'm going to ask Chris, how did it feel when everybody just went, wow, and you actually did it?
Good.
It does. It feels really good. My last training I did, we had someone who was just really just a very shy person. She did it, and she was so excited that she flipped this. When I do a show and the guest does it, they're just like, I did it. And even when they miss, because at the other night, she I've never had anybody completely miss, but I'm talking, she went like this, the egg went over this. So it's in the sink, the egg is in the sink. She's holding the frying pan, I run over, I go, wait. And I scoop it up and I throw it in, I go, look, she did it. And they're like, it was so fun, and then she got to scramble it. So, you're going to have fun with this no matter what happens. But you see, what were you guys doing? You were laughing. You were having fun. That's exactly the experience you want to be happening at your shows. You want your guests to be doing exactly what you guys just did. It's fun. They're having a great time. So make sure your guests are having fun. And when they laugh, they learn. When they laugh, they remember what fun they had at your show. So you don't have to be the star of the show. I didn't flip the egg. I really wasn't doing any part of that. Chris did. Okay? The same thing with the mandolin. You guys were getting excited about using the mandolin. I just simply showed you how to do it to start. But all of you got to do it. So it's that experience of really being a part of the whole demonstration. And so when you have consultants who are really worried and shy and they're like, oh, but I think look, it is about the tools. And it's about the guests having fun. It's not about you being up there being all-knowing, and having to have all the answers, because you don't have to. But you're going to learn that from your guests. You're going to learn it from using the tools. And who got the assignment for the product classes? We got a product class assignment. There we go. Okay, product classes. Product knowledge is so important. And the online product classes, I think you and I too, Janine, we talked about the product classes that are on there. Every single product that comes in the starter kit has a training on it. If you haven't gone and done all the training on all